here before we can bring on Zach. Um, NFL season is training camp starts this week for NFL training camp. Um, so every year I do this on the show when we get to training camp. Well, late July, I always start talking about storylines entering camp. What 5 storylines I'm looking forward to this coming season that interest me entering training camp? I got 5 here. I want to touch on just real quick. The first storyline here, interested, of course, is the Kansas City Chiefs, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Can they be the first team in the Super Bowl era to three-peat? Do I take the Chiefs or the field? I mean, odds are the field most likely, but you got Patrick Mahomes in his prime right now. A Chiefs team that actually might be better than last year's. Because remember last year when the Chiefs, they were not as advertised. If you had told me by week 14, week 15 that this Chiefs team last year, the way they were playing, that they ended up being back-to-back champions, I would have called you a liar. Everybody would have called you a liar. And yet they found a way to do it. You take the field, maybe. But this team looks a little better on paper. They got some speedsters now and whatnot on the team. Travis Kelce is still a little older, but still really good. Their defense now, which in my opinion carried them to the Super Bowl last year. Pat Mahomes just did a finishing job, but their defense is what kept them into the whole situation of being able to compete week to week. I would put the repeat chance. I would put the percentage chance of them repeating next year at about 40%. Because I do think that the tough part is that they play in a very tough AFC, where the Ravens are good. Bengals will be better this year now. Joe Burrow healthy again. The Dolphins are going to be pretty decent this year. See what the Jets are going to be doing. The Chargers are going to be much better in the division now. Now we have Jim Harbaugh as head coach. You have the Texans on the up and up. So there's a lot of landmines in the AFC. But again, this Chiefs team's battle tested. This is very battle tested. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But Chiefs in the field, I could put a 40% chance of them repeating. It's a pretty high number though, considering everything. Second most intriguing storyline for me entering training camp is the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback carousel. As you know, they got Russell Wilson on a sweetheart deal, and they also have Justin Fields. So who's the starting quarterback? Russell Wilson is reportedly the starting quarterback, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. I know they're saying the right things right now, but anything can happen going forward. We'll see how that plays out. I'm very much looking forward to how everything plays out there in the Steelers. That's going to be a very it could be potentially volatile, but I trust the Steelers, culture to get to keep things within controlled and whatnot. I am curious. To me, this is Russell Wilson's really his last chance to really prove that he can still be that guy. Not even elite, just being solid. I mean, look, he was pretty solid last year in moments in Denver. I still argue that Sean Payton, head coach of the Broncos, did him dirty, and this, he wanted to start fresh with his own system, his own quarterback on line. I think Russell Wilson could have done a good job this year in Denver. Had Sean Payton give him a fair shot. That's the here and there. So, but we'll see if Russell Wilson remains starting quarterback. His last shot, Justin Fields, of course, his future could be up in the air as well too. We'll see how that plays out. Third intriguing storyline of the entering training camp: Aaron Rodgers take 2 for the Jets. Can Aaron Rodgers stay healthy? Can the Jets, who on paper look really, really well, look really good, who should be a playoff team this year? I don't know. What's their ceiling? Their ceiling is probably AFC title game, maybe a Super Bowl appearance. I think if they play the cards right, I mean, they have a great roster, but we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers play good football in quite a while. I just realized that. Because remember, his last year in Green Bay wasn't his best year. He had moments, but it wasn't great. And then last year, he played, 4 snaps and then towards Achilles in the first game of the year against Buffalo. So, which Rodgers are we getting here? Is Rodgers going to be healthy? Is going to be focused? We've seen some little weird signs now with him entering mini camp and whatnot. He missed mandatory camp. Got fined for that, of course. Some weird optics going on with him. Aaron Rodgers is a weird guy, as you know, but he's still, when he's on top of his game, he's still a top 10 quarterback in the league. Is he still that guy? It's been well over a year since we've seen Aaron Rodgers really play football in a way that he's, it's been almost 2 years almost since we've seen Aaron Rodgers play quality football. Can he get back to being that guy? We'll see. Um, the fourth intriguing storyline for me entering training camp: NFC North, Packers versus Lions. This is going to be probably the best race of the season for the division. Green Bay with a bounce back last year. Detroit was literally a quarter for one in the Super Bowl last year. It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out there. Jordan Love, his situation now, he's reportedly not reporting to camp or something like that. He wants an extension. He believes he's a $50 million a year quarterback. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if he is or isn't. Sample size is pretty small. Detroit, can they get back to where they were last year? Can they become consistently good now? Because now they're on that level now. Now they're no longer the hunter, they're the hunted. Even though they're not winning, they haven't won a Super Bowl, they were in the Final Four last year. So now there's an expectation for Detroit to be good next year. Can they sustain that next year, this coming season? We shall see. I think they're still a playoff team, but will they win the North again this year? Green Bay is pretty good. Green Bay ended the year year strong last year. We'll see. And then, of course, finally for me, the fifth and final intriguing story for me entering training camp is on the personal end. Daniel Jones will bust. That's simple. This is it. If Daniel Jones is and Daniel Jones doesn't have to not just be good enough. Daniel Jones has to be better, his best year, and better than he was 2 years ago before he got the extension. He's got to clear that bar, or else it's over for him. Because you signed a 4-year deal worth $160 million. It was really in look at the brass tacks, it's really 2 years, $80 million. And so the Giants can actually get out of this contract relatively clean at the end of this year, which is pretty likely to do unless Jones has a phenomenal season. Their defense looks good on paper. Their front seven anyway. But they lose Saquon Barkley. They gave Jones some weapons here on receivers, some young receivers here. Should be able to hold okay. Look, they committed $4 million a year to this guy. This is it. Get it done, shit on the pot, or move. So, Dan Jones or bust for me moving forward. And we'll see how that plays out. But I'm really, really curious. This is it for him. Either he gets it done this year, or Joe Shane and the Giants are out on the Dan Jones thing, if you want to call that. So that's my 5 most intriguing storylines entering training camp this week.